Hi, this is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Here today to teach you how to press up into a handstand. This is one of the holy grails of yoga, so let's work on it. One thing that you have to remember when you're pressing up to handstand is, I know this seems like a really Army move, not like Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, but Army like your arms, okay? It is arms. I mean, you obviously got to use your arms, but mostly it's going to be core. So don't forget about your core. Okay, we're going to start off with a little bit of a core warm-up. You can also find this in my hardcore core video, which you definitely should check out, because it's hardcore and you want a hardcore. Hardcore is going to help you a lot with your pressing up to handstand. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you need socks. Okay, so if you don't already know that, go get a pair of socks. I'll wait, you can just pause me, okay? Okay, got your socks? Here we go. You're gonna put your hands, I like to use a mat. You don't really need a mat, it's just gonna stop your hands from sliding, and it's gonna give you sort of a benchmark for where your feet have to go. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your feet together, hands down, or your Uttanasana, and you're going to push your legs backwards. You can also do this with your feet on a blanket if you wanted to. And then keeping your arms and your legs straight, you're going to lift up from your hips to just float your feet back to the front of your mat. This is the same action you're actually going to use when you press up to a handstand. So again, straight arms, straight legs. A lot of people, they get lazy and they just sort of move from their legs. That's not really what we're getting at here. As your hips lift up, what it does is it creates more space so that the feet can move forward more efficiently. So even if you don't have a huge hamstring stretch, as the hips go up, it's going to create that space so that you can move forward. So again, hands are very close to your feet. You're going to look forward and press the legs back. You can do a vinyasa here if you want to make it more hardcore. I'm not going to do it today. And then all you're going to do is lift from your tush, use your core, and boom. Okay? So that's the end of the sock segment of the class. So let's get rid of these. Okay, now we're going to move into the block segment. No, we're not. We'll move into block segment in a second. For right now, what I want you to do is, second exercise, tippy toes. Okay, so get on your tiptoes, feet together, knees together. I suggest looking at a spot on this one because the balance is a little harder than it seems. And all we're going to do is we're going to start out, we're going to come up to standing. Okay, just balance on your tiptoes. Take your hands to the sky. And then see if you can come all the way down into Uttanasana with your hands fairly close to your feet. Okay? So maybe a foot in front of your feet. And we're going to press up and see if you can come to the big toes only. Okay, notice I'm not forward here. Okay, I'm not in a little tiny dog. I mean, anybody can do that. I want you to get as close to your feet as possible. I mean, not all the way back, but pretty close. And then lean, and just see if you can come to your tippy toes. Okay, because I don't know about you, but my tippy toes have no real strength. So once I get to my tippy toes, I know that I've got what it takes to press up to handstand. Now the block part of the class. Please take out your blocks. We're going to take your blocks. We're going to start out doing the same thing we just did. We're just going to do it on the blocks. So now you're really going to have to lift from the core and from the low back and hips to create space for this movement. So you get on your blocks. We're going to go a little further out for this one. So maybe about a foot, foot and a half. And just see if you can, tippy toes. Notice I'm always looking forward. My shoulders are rotating externally. And see if you can just go to your tippy toes. So only my big toes are on the block. Once that's easy, we're going to see if we can float off the blocks to our hands. Now notice I say float. I don't say jump. Because I don't want any force in your legs. What I want you to do is see if you can engage your core and lift off the blocks to just take the feet gently to your wrists. You're going to have straight arms, slight external rotation. Now, I actually have to turn my hand out a little bit on this one, and straight legs are key. My hands go forward a bit. This can be a little scary because there's a lot of pressure on the arms. arms. Let your arms get strong and brave. And even if you can't get off the blocks, just try. Shoulders come forward, my gaze is forward, there's my tippy toes. I continue to lean until my feet come to the floor where my hands are. Okay, so the only reason I can move slowly is because my core is engaging. Otherwise, I'm just going to and fall right over, okay? So, again, I'm on my blocks. My hands are flat and slightly turned out. My shoulders come above my wrist, my gaze is forward, and I lean to float my feet down. Okay, so down is like the first half of the work. Obviously, the second half of the work is going to be up. That's sort of the hard part. So let's do one more down, and then we'll do up. Let's do it with wide legs this time. When you move through a straddle, your legs are more evenly distributed, your weight, than when your legs are together, so it really does make it easier. My blocks come apart this time. I turn my feet in, hands forward. My shoulders are rolling out and down my back. I lean, 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 and just bring it down. Okay, that's the end of the block portion. Okay, so if this becomes easy for you, then what we're going to try to do is float up without the blocks. The scariest part of floating without the blocks is that your shoulders have to go a little bit past your wrist. You got to get so brave on this one. I changed my mind. I'm going to do it with the blocks first, then I'll do it without the blocks because it's easier with the blocks. So set up your blocks. You can go as wide as you want to. Turn your feet in. Hands come down and face out. Lean your shoulders forward. Now this time it's like you're going to float your feet to your hands, but instead, once you get there, pivot your hips and see if you can get your hips to face the wall so that you can turn your legs up. I lean forward, take your time, legs, and up. Now I get rid of my blocks. Okay, that's hard. Obviously you're not going to try this without the blocks until you can do it with the blocks, right? The blocks are going to make it a lot easier. Another fabulous hairdo today I just want to point out for you guys. So let's try it without the blocks. You may not get off the floor, you may just get off the floor a little bit, which is totally fine too. The keys here, guys, are get so brave, okay? You really got to lean into those arms like crazy. And then, even though you're maintaining the energy in the arms, the lift has to come from your core. My feet turn in just like I'm on my blocks. My hands come down, shoulders roll out. I lean, 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 lean. Up into my handstand. Okay, a little yucky back bend in there, but you get the picture? I'm Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Please subscribe to my channel, JSTDUEIT. Just do it. Check out my other videos, and I will see you here again really, really soon.